This is an overview of the Nerds Card Guide project. So in this project, it's going to cover three basic sections: kinematics, circular motion, and energy. We're going to do each section at a time, just one piece at a time, so they'll all kind of add up over time to a total assessment or a total uh, project. So here's the basic project that you'll have, and there are guidelines for what goes on here, which I'll show you in a minute. And I'm kind of scrolling down the screen. You can see I've got the general stats, acceleration, lateral G's, some other things. Straightaway performance, there's an image there, so you're going to have to figure out how to measure a distance on a map. So you have to do that. You also have to figure out how to calculate a speeding ticket. So that's on there as well. And that's pretty much the kinematics section. You'll do some applications and some math. But if you notice this, it gives some distances and some places to go, and then there's a subscript. There's the B, there's a red C, and there's a red D, so I'm kind of highlighting those. Up at the top where it says horsepower, there's a subscript there. And that's important because when you go down the page and you get down, you have a special, of course, you have a works cited page that you're doing, but also the calculations page. And so for the calculations, you can see on the left-hand side, it says A. So calculations, whatever was used to calculate that value that was up there next to the letter A, that they would go here. And here's a worked out example for B, and it's the time to go between the stops. And so for my numbers, this is showing everything that's done. For me to do this, I used the Google equation editor. If you want to use Equatio, that's fine, or if you have something else online, you can do that. But you want it to look nice and professional, and this will take a fair amount of time to kind of work around the equation editor and figure it out. And then I've got other numbers in that document that I didn't show you, but these are all the calculations that would go down here. So those are all the calculations for all the numbers that are up here. Like here it says cornering performance. You can see the superscript E, there's a red F, a G, and an H. So all those are to be calculated down below. So there's a lot you have to do down there. Now, let's look at, you'll see this document. This will be your guide on what to do. Overview, some due dates are on here already. There's a form you're going to have to fill out to tell me what car you're going to use, and you're going to have to tell me the lateral acceleration of that car. That's the hardest piece of information to find out about a car. So you have to do a little bit of research. Oh, it just so happens there is a link down here of a little video I made to show you how to find lateral acceleration and explain a little bit about what lateral acceleration is. If you can't find it exactly for your car year, see if you can find it for a car year that's close. And try to find a car that interests you. If it's a sports car, a fast car, or maybe it's a family car, or maybe it's just something you saw on TV, try to find that. And sometimes you might find something that's really old, like a 1967 T-Bird. Maybe you can't find a lateral acceleration on that. So be flexible, try to switch when you're doing that. And then it talks about circular motion. I don't have the due dates, and energy, don't have the due dates. I just, with our new schedule right now, I can't really plan it out. There are directions about opening up the template and filling out the template as you go through. The template will be in Schoology, and then how to use the Google search engine and correcting misspelled words. You can see I got an example of misspelled word down here. Research tips for circular motion and lateral G's. Kinematics, so it's defining what kinematics kinds of things you're going to do. The big overview, circular motion, big overview. Links, background information, if you want to go look at that. Power, energy, it's all kind of here. And then in the works cited section, we're going to talk more about that and how there are extensions to help us with this. And the calculation section, that's really important, how we do all that. And then the grading rubric, it's kind of a check-off list. Check, 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 check. And so as we go through this, we'll define the percentages for the different pieces. The kinematics part will be 30% of the grade, to start with 30 points. So that'll be the first thing. And you should also pay down here to the wow factor. So if you do everything I ask, you're going to get a low A. But if you want something better, if you really want to show off your work, that's the wow factor. What calculation or investigation did you do that was not asked for in my guidelines that adds value to the document? So this is done somewhere in the document, typically in part 3 is where people will put it, and you consider it earlier in time if you want, but the evaluation goes on part 3. So that's the wow factor. If you do what I ask, great. In terms of grades, we'll say that's a superior assignment. That's right up there. But if you really want to show off, that's the wow factor. What did you do that I didn't ask for? That's cool. That's really neat. So that's kind of a quick overview of the Nerds Card Guide in Central Virginia that you're going to be building.